Welcome to the Screen Time Continuum. It's Monday. My name is Keelan, and I'm here with the fellas. What's going on, guys?
Not a whole lot.
Sorry, I couldn't hit my mute, and I was trying not to cough, and that's why I did the short seg. Sorry. My name is Keelan, and I am here with Mike and Nick. What's going on, Mike?
Man, not a whole lot. Just trying to get through the week.
Through the week, man. It's only Monday.
Just started.
God dang, that's all.
All right. With that being the case, what's going on, Nick? How you feeling?
Hey, man. Happy Monday. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. Can't really complain. It is actually, yeah, very happy Monday. Interestingly enough, it is a Monday rolling into the celebration of independence. So yeah,
Mm.
here we are coming into the day that everybody's going to be celebrating, and yeah, we are here to review The Devil's Conspiracy, which is a movie on Hulu that I don't know what we were getting into, but we got into it, and now we're here to talk about it. That is the gist of the Monday. That is really how my Monday went. Didn't really know what was going on, but it happened. So here we are. The Devil's Conspiracy, a 2023 movie. I'm trying to think. There's no need for a spoiler. Do you guys think? What do you think?
What's the conspiracy?
I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
think there's
I
a need
wouldn't.
for a spoiler, right? Okay, just making sure. 'Cause I was kind of spinning through that in my head right now. Like, do I need to give a spoiler? It came out in January
Yeah,
on
I
the
think we're good.
streaming site. So yeah, it came out January 23rd of 20 or January of 2023. I don't know the exact date. Um, it is starring Peter Minta and Alice or Ewing, Evelyn Hall, a couple of actors in there. I don't think I've seen many of them. Maybe two of them I know from somewhere. Outside of that, this movie was directed by Nathan Frankowski, and it brought in just under $1 million in the box office. So at some point, this was in the theaters, but
Really?
I did not hear about it until it got to Hulu.
Wow.
That's
I didn't know
interesting.
that.
I don't think anybody knew that. I don't think the people in this movie knew that it actually went to theaters. Um, and that's not a shot. That's just reality. Like this movie was not publicized in any way. With that being said, this movie is starring Peter Mensa. Did I say that already? Yes, I did.
Yes.
This movie is about, or the plot says on Google, a powerful biotech company has breakthrough technology that allows it to clone history's most influential people. Behind the company is is a cabal of Satanists who steal the shroud of Turin, putting them in possession of Jesus Christ's DNA, the ultimate offering to the devil, hoping to save mankind. Archangel Michael soon comes to Earth to stop the devil's conspiracy once and for all. Wow, that was a really long uh plot for Google. I don't think the one on Hulu was quite that long. However, this movie is currently showing on Hulu for anyone who wants to check it out. Um, they have the exact same plot on IMDb, so there's no need to read that. And once again, we get to a point where I think let's if we can, guys, really quick before we get into our first thoughts about this movie. Should there be some theory about the fact that sometimes there are movies that have the exact same plot in multiple places, even though it doesn't have the same plot on Hulu? And then there's some movies that have a different plot. It's like somebody reads the plot somewhere else or watches the movie and gives you a summary um, based on what they are allowed to. What do you how do you guys think that works? Because I'm really starting to get curious about how that goes.
I think that they just probably have a set of copy that the sites can choose from, and then you just pick that whichever one is the most fittable. I don't know.
That actually makes more sense that the marketing team for the film itself sends over a batch. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, Mike, any thoughts on that?
I have no clue, man. I think they're just trying to stir people up.
Well, yeah, I mean that's generally their job. Like personally, I like Nick's uh answer, his version of how they come up with it. I'm not really sure. I think it could be a different method at every single stop, but thinking that the people who made the film itself send out a batch of, hey, choose from this group here. And 8 times out of 10, I could see at that point how multiple outlets would choose the exact same one, because somebody's going to be quality checking them and going like, you know what, this seems like the one that fits the easiest for the consumer. So
I mean,
I get it.
yeah, that's probably yeah.
Yeah, that it made a lot of sense, but I just wasn't sure, and I'm getting to a point like I think we've read enough plots, had enough time to pit them against one another from different sources to kind of have a theory on how that could happen. Either way, um, let's get into our first thoughts about this movie here in front of us. I don't think we have too much depth on how far we want to go with our first thoughts. But I'm currently trying to refine my voice, get my rhythm back. But yeah. What do you guys think? First thoughts.
Man, terribly bad. I don't know. It badly written story. I mean, I know what they were trying to do, but I don't think there was enough details. It feels like it was too rushed. Like they were just rushing through the story. Because when we're talking something biblical, almost none of this was really biblical, and it was a lot of Catholic nonsense. So I don't know. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I certainly didn't like it. I think that it was kind of, I mean, if I were a religious person, I would call it heretical.
I was trying not to use that.
But, I'm not, so I'm not going to be pearl clutchy here. It's not a very good movie. And I mean, for as long as it is, which is almost 2 hours, it is severely undercooked in what it portrays, because I can understand where Mike is coming from as far as like, if you're going to do a story about the devil and God, you want to get as lore heavy and sort of like legendarium as possible. And this movie overly focuses on the female character. I feel like Michael and Lucifer are actually just side characters in this, when it's their battle between good and evil. And I don't know. I feel like you just don't get enough of the biblical stuff, like Mike was saying. You're not getting any of that. You're not getting the reasons.
It's not. Yeah.
You're not getting any depth out of the sort of like the thing that you would be most interested in, which is the struggle between good and evil and the war.
You mean the source material?
Yes, the source material of this movie. Yes. You're not getting any of that. Instead, what you get is this very bizarre, almost feels like a cultural critique about
Schmishmorphin?
Yes, Schmishmorphin and the I don't know, the curse of birth. It was not good. I just
don't.
The curse
of earth or the curse of birth?
The curse of birth.
Okay. Maybe a little bit of both. Yeah.
It's very antenatal. That's what I'll say, is sort of antenatal. Yeah, so I mean, all that to say is like, if you wanted to do that, you could have done that, but don't then hide it behind something different, because you just kind of slap the biblical characters in the background as if they're of any consequence, and they are absolutely of no consequence. Michael is completely useless in this whole movie. I mean,
he did our name no justice.
Didn't, sir, for real, because he is whack.
I'm named after him, and it was terrible.
Wick whack. Nice, indeed. Okay. I am in a different position than both of. Can't say I loved the movie or anything like that. Awkward blend of, I think they were trying to be satirically funny in some instances, and I was like,
really?
Okay. Yeah. Moments like the priest, or not the priest, but when Michael takes over the priest and he goes looking for his car. When he goes through one of the little things with Vincini. It was a couple of little moments where I was like, are they trying to be funny? Like, okay, cool.
You know what?
So
You're right. The car thing probably was an attempt at humor.
a little bit.
You know what else was an attempt at humor?
The
This one.
movie.
Oh, Michael, it looks like my water broke.
Yeah. There you go. There was one of them. So
That was so cringe.
little
was.
quits like that. That was cringe. Whoa. I was also told by a Catholic that there were a lot of Catholic accuracies in this movie. So your take, Mike, about there not being enough biblical accuracy and too much Catholic hoopla, and hearing from a Catholic that there is Catholic accuracies, I'm like,
Because they're not the same thing.
hey, they're not at all. And so I'm sitting here like, I actually want to hear the depth on both of y'all now. Like, hold on, wait, I think I understand where both y'all are coming from here. Which interestingly enough lends to the movie. I can't say like, oh, I liked it, you should go check this out. But I can say, if you want to see some different sides, like biblical story, or what we call like a heavenly type story told in a different manner, check this one out, right?
Just watch
Um,
Constantine.
You could definitely watch Constantine, but
Right.
that's only if you listen.
That was
Okay,
actually good.
Constantine is great.
That was
I
done
love
20
movie.
years ago.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
First off, Keanu.
Right.
I can go watch Bill and Ted right now and still be entertained. But Keanu,
Which one?
Nick, I said Keanu and you froze with your hand over here.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh no, I disappointed him with my Keanu references. What was I saying about Constantine? Constantine was a great movie, but a movie that, they're trying to do this different type of biblical story. They're not using the Bible. There's multiple instances where Michael is being asked certain questions about God and God's control or inference into this whole situation, and it's like, no, it's not his problem, it's my problem. It has nothing to do with God. It's like, oh, okay,
What?
that's different. That he says that in this.
I know. I was like, it blew. You know what this movie kind of reminded me of, to be fair?
What's that?
You remember that movie Legion?
I think everything reminds us of Legion in some ways.
Well, this
The TV
specifically
show
because
for me. Not the
Wait, which
not
one?
the movie.
Both the movie and the TV show in different ways. But I get what Nick's saying. You're right. That is two different things. So I can't really conflate the two.
Well, I'm talking about the movie with the angels and all the zombies, and it reminded me of that in certain ways, because he kind of was like, I'm going against what God wanted because I'm giving him what he needs, not what he wants. It's like, what?
Listen, this is me, and I can say this now, and I know we're still doing the opening, but we're kind of talking about it already. I feel like these movies like these try to give you that understanding that there is some humanity even in angels, to whatever level, which sometimes that's a real blended pot, because I guess that's where the Catholic part comes in, right? Because in the Bible, that's not a thing. But I think they're trying to blend willpower with ambition. And at the end of it all, we come to still God's omnipotence. Nothing is outside of his purview. So, yeah.
Well, I mean,
kind of. I mean, even though like God doesn't do anything in this.
I mean, the invisible force.
Well, no, okay, I'm sorry. So I take that back. God chose the woman.
Fair.
Right.
That's what the movie says.
Fair.
What's her name? Laura. Yeah.
Laura.
God chose Laura because he knew that when she was implanted with the demon spawn of the Antichrist, she would transmute it into a vessel to imprison Satan.
Yeah. Matter of fact, this is how I'll round out the whole. Then we'll really just jump into what the hell.
Mm.
This movie is full of inaccuracies, and when I say no, I'm sorry, clear my throat so they know I started over. This movie is full of inconsistencies. Too many of them, in fact. A lot of I'm not even gonna call them loose ends. It's just at a point where it's too much. Like, is Liz supposed to be Lilith?
Maybe. Why is she so powerful? She's like 70 years old and like killing dudes and
700.
punching
She's a demon.
people, and they're flying like 10 feet. I'm like, what's
She's
going on?
possessed by a demon.
Skeletor.
Which one?
So why
Well,
would
I think she's supposed to be the beast of the earth that they were talking about.
I
Maybe.
thought that thing was the beast of the earth.
You know what this movie is? This movie is if you took all the biblical cliches, threw them in a bag, shook it around, and then drew them out one by one, and did like a Mad Libs with them. You know, like I'm surprised there wasn't like the Spear of Destiny and just other trite bullshit that they always put in these types of movies. Because
Look, they
it's
could have
just,
at least gave him some fantastical weapons. I agree with you there.
yeah. I mean,
you mean other than the angel swords and the devil sword?
Well, Michael's sword should be much more spectacular than it was. And
I thought it should have came to him like Mjolnir.
something. Yeah.
Anything.
I mean, it's supposed to be like the word of God, his sword. So
Well,
that could have
you
been
would think an
presented a bit
angel would
more
be wearing the
powerfully.
full armor of God, you would think, but
no, of course not.
clearly not.
He wasn't sent by God according to him, so
Yeah, which makes no sense too.
No.
Makes zero
So
sense.
something this movie said to me was, so both Michael and Lucifer, his angelic name at least, the both of them have the ability to become omnipotent, or they have the ability to influence the Christ or the Antichrist.
I'm not sure. Although I guess it makes sense that neither of them can sort of physically appear on Earth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, Michael had to be put into the very petite father,
Marconi,
who was awful at acting and
macaroni.
Macaroni. Yeah. Oh, and this movie is way too dark too.
Oh yeah, I had to adjust my temperature and all that on my TV.
Even when I turn it the brightest it can be, it's still, I can't see anything. So
there got to a point where they continued with the speaking in Italian, and I'm so tired of subtitles that pop up and tell me Italian voice or Italian talking in Italian, speaking in Italian. Tell me what the hell they saying.
Please. What is this with like, we're not going to translate for you guys anymore. Learn Italian, you pleb.
Just right.
Just so I can watch this D movie.
Man,
no.
At least look, I'm at a point where I'm like, at least spell it out in Italian so I can take a picture of it and Google Translate it or something. Like,
there you go. Yeah. No, I'm just going to have you, sit there in ignorance as these people talk in a language you don't know.
And you're supposed to be keeping up with the storyline.
Right.
Well, I mean,
it's really
as much
great
as
if
you
you're
have to
immersed.
read, you're not watching whatever's on the screen because you're too busy reading anyway.
And they weren't doing anything on the screen that was worth knowing anyway.
Right. I'm gonna say they figured it had to be talking about something. They were just standing in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the movie. But so yeah, this movie essentially starts off where we meet a young lady named Laura. She's a journalist she's an art historian who doesn't believe in Christ or in good and evil.
God or the good or evil spirits.
So why are you an art historian? Like, that's what history is.
Because she's smart, man.
Oh,
because she's enlightened beyond the rest of us plebes.
She has gnosis. She is enlightened by science.
And most importantly, why are you clearly in the Vatican as an art historian? Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I'm supposed to say. That's what this is. They really just acting like it wasn't, and I was trying to figure out where else.
I was confused by the Michael defeating Lucifer statue. I don't think that there's any historical statue that's that. I think it's a painting, but
it is a painting.
It's never been a statue.
They did it for effect. Somebody wanted to create that in props, so they found a reason.
Yeah, because she acts like it's made by some, famous Renaissance sculptor, but I'm like, it's just plaster.
Right.
It's just plastic. Not for the sake of the movie, Nick.
No, no.
it just captures my master Lucifer so good. Really? You don't even get to see it.
Oh no, she crept up on her. Remember when she was?
I know, but still, we don't get to see it.
Oh yeah, no, we don't get to see what she saw because what we saw definitely ain't that. It's not what she was describing.
Right.
And who
Laura-
draws in the dark?
Laura.
Laura does.
So there's a few things Laura says as we're talking about who Laura is. We don't know who the hell Laura is because remember she says she's already survived. She survived the worst, and you don't
Right.
know who she is. And it's like, who are you?
Exactly. Like I said, the whole story feels rushed.
Laura Croft?
There's no depth to it.
And they just sort of drop what happened to her as if we were like supposed to, like
Yeah.
that's so bizarre, because she just casually drops that her family was murdered in front of her.
Right. Was it in front of her or did it just happen?
She said that. I think she said she saw it, but maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, I vaguely actually forgot that for a minute.
Right. I didn't forget it. I just didn't.
Who are they murdered?
It never
by?
really made any. It didn't have any real relevance.
Right. They were murdered by the murderer.
Is the
Right.
insinuation that the devil murdered her family so that she could be single, so that she could take
No,
this
God
on?
did it.
No.
Don't you know?
Right.
Well, actually,
God
yeah.
did it.
Mike's right. That's the real insinuation when you round it all out. That's
God
okay.
did it.
actual insinuation.
So she's like Job, right? Job gets his
Wow.
family murdered. Yeah.
I mean, when God allows the devil to do what he do,
Mm-hmm.
There's some accuracy right there.
Mm-hmm.
that's about as close to being biblically accurate as I saw.
Right. I mean,
Right.
it's the stories that people don't glorify that you start like, wait, maybe this is being biblically accurate. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I don't.
It's a stretch.
I'm stretching.
It's a stretch.
Stretching that thing too far.
Man.
Hey, yo. So yeah. We find out that there is a whole committee after we learn. Oh, wait, sorry. Laura is invited to the museum. We learn about the shroud of Jesus, the shroud of Christ that has his DNA on it from the resurrection.
The shroud of Turin.
The shroud of what's it called again?
Turin.
Turin. The shroud of Turin, correct. I remember that from the plot now that you say it.
That's a real thing, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's the Holy Grail.
Did we find that?
No.
Oh.
Indiana Jones dropped it in a chasm when he.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Well, it's also being used for donuts in the office.
That's true. Yes.
I'm sorry, I just recently watched that episode. Yeah, so they have the shroud, and this shroud has Christ's DNA, and it ends up being stolen by this committee of people because for whatever reason, Laura was taken to the statue of Michael defeating Lucifer, as we were just referencing, and she was left alone by the father. What was his name again? Father
Macaroni.
Macaroni.
Yeah.
Father Shell Macaroni.
Elbow.
Rotini. And for whatever reason, they left her alone. She is being stalked at that point by this demon chick named Liz. Pretty sure Liz is like Lilith or something, some level of a devil. But this is why I think she's Lilith, actually, for a minute. I think Liz is Lilith because Lilith is the only thing or person or demon or entity I've ever known in any lore to think they're equal to Lucifer.
Well, Lilith is technically outside of all of the creations because,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, according to the Gnostic belief, Lilith was created first by God, but then she left Eden voluntarily, and she
fair enough
went out and basically gave birth to all the monsters.
Yeah, that is okay. I guess I was missing that.
Yeah, so I guess that's probably why she's sort of outside of the equation and all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where
She
does
has
Lilith appear in the Bible again?
She doesn't. It's in the Gnostic texts, which are
Oh.
technically a heresy. It's just Christianity split into esotericism about 300 years after all of it took place. And that's where you get like the Gnostic belief that the serpent was Lucifer, light bringer, bringer of knowledge, and sort of like that God is this mid-level deity that's imprisoned us in this reality, and there's actually a deity above God.
I've never heard any of that, but okay.
Oh, it's fascinating, and it's very prevalent in a
Crazy.
lot of our storytelling. If you go look into it,
I think I'm gonna pass.
you fair
I'm about
enough.
to say, you might have just spooked the hell out of me because if this, as deep as you just made it sound, turn my TV off.
Well, just keep
Right.
in mind that Satan is the father of lies, the prince of air. So,
Which they use none of that in this movie.
nope.
None. They could have, like, see the thing
Father
is
of confusion.
right. Run, Sweetheart, Run did a better version of Satan.
Man, I'm starting to like Run, Sweetheart, Run.
Me too. The more crap we watch.
Like just piling it on, and it's all of a
Yeah.
sudden
Right.
it's like it's not that bad.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Like I see what they was trying to do there. You know what? Let me where's my marker? Let me fill in that gap right there. I see y'all. I got y'all. We gonna do this for you.
Just rewrite the end. We got Corey here in the comments.
Corey, what's up, Corey? Corey says it's just strange that DNA would supposedly be the source of power. I don't think that's what the blood of Christ message is supposed.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. You know what,
Yeah.
Corey? I agree. The whole blood thing.
He's
even
basically
pulling the DNA for replication.
It's basically Jurassic Park for dead people.
Yeah. So right, I wanted to get to that really quick. What they're doing, but because he's right, that's what it is. It's Jurassic Park for dead people. Because fast forward after we meet Laura and they steal the shroud and all of the ninja stuff goes on. They kill the father. Michael's resurrected through him. We find out that this committee can resurrect the people from the past and turn them into children who were auctioned off for 90 million.
Which was weird.
It was beyond weird.
Because you know what? The first thing that I had thought when I saw that was like, okay, so if they can create these older people into making them babies, so if you get 30 different Mozart babies around there, that makes Mozart not so special, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think that you would. I think you would only get a one-off. That's why the big deal about in the auction. That's why they make such a big deal about Michelangelo, which is an infant. There's not going to be another Michelangelo, so that's why he.
Why would you limit your market if you're there to make money, though?
Well, because the bid, like what you said, if you oversaturate the market, you're not going to get as much money for each child. There's lots of children that you can just clone, or geniuses that you can clone, but the only reason that you're getting 90 million for a Michelangelo is because there's one of them.
Yeah.
Well, now there's two.
I don't think they're no, because the first one's dead. I think they're trying to recreate the world, recreate the images.
That was one part of the movie that I actually thought was pretty interesting because I can see that happening. That's not impossible.
No, not at all. Because that's essentially what I think they're doing in this entire movie is they're simply trying to recreate all of it. Even when you consider what the grand scheme of things, what they think they're birthing versus what they're supposedly actually birthing, because what DNA do they take? So that was one of the biggest confusions for me through this movie is you're using the shroud of Jesus, so using Jesus's DNA, but you're trying to resurrect Lucifer. Make that what?
Yeah, and see how dumb that concept is. My wife, who is not versed in any Christianity or anything like that, said the exact same thing. Why would you take Jesus's blood if you're trying to make the Antichrist?
Right.
And to which I said, "Shut up! I'm trying to watch this."
Just ruined everything.
But she was right. Of course, she was right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you even think like, okay, cool, they get the shroud. Father Marconi becomes Michael embodied, which later on a very good point's made. Why did you take a human form again, idiot?
Yeah,
he's totally
useless in that human form too.
For plot reasons. That's really it.
Yeah, whatever.
Because ethereal Michael would have been able to take out the entire contingency of
He could have stayed a
Satanists.
fireball doing the same thing that Lucifer was doing, just pop into this body, pop in it. Oh, and there was a big military dude who could actually punch somebody.
Yeah, not a 5'6" priest, very thin
Couldn't even
priest.
run.
No, couldn't even run.
I bet you if that was a real shotgun, he would have blew his arm off.
His body was so bad that it basically his body was rejecting Michael. That's how much it couldn't contain the power that was within him. Yeah,
exactly.
That's kind of the way I took it.
Corey says, and they'd all die of the like range of common viruses. Their centuries-old DNA hadn't been evolved to tolerate. That's true. They bubble kids in real life, living in hermetically sealed environments, or they die. I agree 1,000% because I think they would live in hermetically sealed environments because they're trophies.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think you're paying $90 million and then it's like, oh, hey, go and play with the kids up the block.
Go in that playground.
Not at all. They're gonna
What's interesting about that is that they display Vivaldi, and Vivaldi is playing. He's like a 10-year-old kid, and he's playing the violin, and he's playing one of his concertos. So, is it that they're just going to reproduce the same thing they've already made? Because if that's the case, why are you doing it?
I think you have to teach them all the things that they've already done so they can then expound.
I think they already know the things they've already done because that kid playing Vivaldi, that was his piece.
10.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So he probably already knows how to do it, but then it's like, okay, but if they can just recreate the thing that they already created in the past, what's the point? Yeah.
Because I have my own.
Yeah.
Look, John, I got a pen.
Well, that would go back to your point of trophy children.
Yeah, I think that, it circles right back around to that. They're definitely trophy children. So let's also not forget that Father Marconi is being followed by a crow. Why is that important? We don't know. We're never really told, but he is being followed by a crow.
That point was not even. The old man just shoots it with a shotgun. He's like, it's been following.
Which made sense. For no reason, it made sense.
But you know what? Ravens are very smart. Maybe he just had an affinity for the father. I don't know.
Maybe Odin was following him.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like a pagan. Oh, the pagan deities are also trying to follow.
Yeah, they were watching his every move so they could report, even though we never saw any reports get relayed.
None.
Odin was like, "What y'all doing?
What are you doing?" So Michael goes back. He cleans everything up, gets the security footage, and basically is told that the guy who's supposed to be the last protector is away in an insane asylum. And we find out that St. Michael's Asylum is an asylum. It's a lookout over the place that Lucifer was slain and or imprisoned. Now, what I don't get is after they get the DNA and they're doing all this research and he unlocks the DNA, the building shakes. You go down, they look at hell, and the sword is now no longer effective.
It's loosened.
Yeah, whatever. I don't get it.
Yeah, because the gates of hell being opened is supposed to shake the
What
sword.
did I tell you?
Yeah.
Plot.
Armor. Got it.
Well, just because it needs to happen, because Lucifer needs to be loosened. Even though I get it, Lucifer.
Lucifer loosened.
Got it. Even though he effectively does nothing, he could have stayed chained up the entire time, and it would have been the same result.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. Because he was only taking form on the earth plane through the child, anyways, right?
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Because he needs something to inhabit, something to imbue. But
well, and then the snake fire monster, has to go inside the women and see if it's a good nest.
It's violating them.
Yeah,
it's definitely violating them orally. Only.
Well, sometimes it goes into your ear too.
Oh, hey, little ear.
Yeah, little.
Well, it's got a whisper in there somehow.
Hello. I was about to whisper for no reason. I'm looking at my notes like, all right, where do we pick this back up at? Because
it's a slow movie, man. Honestly, because there's not much that happens, but it's 2 hours long. Yeah, basically, she just gets kidnapped and then has for reasons because they need women to implant the Antichrist in.
Apparently,
So
they kidnap men too, though, right? Or did
yeah,
I miss that
I,
and misunderstand that?
I don't think you misunderstood anything. I'm guessing at the beginning they didn't know, so they tried everything.
Yeah, it's possible.
Oh,
It
so
might have
they
been that they were trying to get them to be possessed by the devil because they, you know, like you don't know. Again, we're not even playing within the bounds of reality here, so it's like I don't know. You use Jesus's DNA to then mix with what? What did you fertilize the DNA with?
That's a
Whose
great
ova
question.
did you take? Whose sperm did you take?
I'm guessing it came
No.
from Liz.
Ew.
yeah.
Where else was it coming from?
I don't know. It's a good question. It could have maybe come from her if she is Lilith. That would make more sense. That it was her, you know, like her egg that they used. That would make sense. But I
Well,
can't.
and then they just use Laura's uterus.
Yeah, she's just a surrogate for the
Yeah.
fertilized egg.
That's
Is
So
that
it's
literally
the
all that
wait?
is.
That okay? Plot. I'm gonna go with
well
plot.
because when they take her to the operating room, they implant the egg into her womb.
Right.
So
But what is it fertilized with?
That's my that's
Yeah,
my
we don't know.
question.
That's
I
our
don't
thing.
know.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I said plot.
Plot. Yeah.
Because
Don't worry
there's a
about it.
contingency of people out here who believe that women can get pregnant without the use of man parts.
Oh wow.
It's fertilized with science, Mike.
Right.
Stop being
Wow.
so regressive.
No, I wish I was being funny. I've actually had that conversation with a few people, and I'm like, wow, you really believe that too?
When you,
Well,
and
And
you realize
that's
I
a
didn't
hill
see
they'll
that.
die on.
Till you said that, I didn't even see that in the movie.
Weird flex, but okay.
Weird flex.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so she gets a surrogate. She becomes a surrogate for the Antichrist, although there are other women that are also getting implanted. And I guess it's a matter of which woman the fire snake likes.
Yeah, who doesn't get
Well, I
rejected?
mean, it started off with 4
Mhm.
kidnapped women, and then you end up seeing only 2 of them make it to the cage,
Mhm.
and then one of them gets tossed out of the cage.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell which one it was, to be fair.
It was too dark.
It was too,
couldn't tell.
yeah.
Right.
I only
couldn't
knew
even.
because she yelled her name. If she
Right.
didn't yell out her name, I wouldn't have known which one it was.
And then I forgot which one that one was when they said her name.
Brenda.
Yeah, I know. I forgot which one that was. Was that the punk rocker chick, or was that the
The
other
It was
chick?
No, it was the normal one that was trying
Yeah.
to get the other one to shut up.
So what happened to the punk rock chick?
Nobody
They left
knows.
her there.
Oh, I thought they took her too.
I thought they did too, but they never saw her.
Because I
And
know
then-
the one that was hysterical. She definitely didn't go anywhere.
Oh yeah, they just got her knocked out against the glass. She gone.
She wasn't even knocked out.
No, but that's what I'm saying. She's like gone though. Like mentally, she ain't there.
Yeah. Right.
Let's see.
Ugh.
So, Brenda dies when he tries to enter her, and Laura lives. She ends up being pregnant, and then, I mean, Michael comes and saves her, dang near immediately, almost. It's not much in between.
Did she drop to hell
When?
No.
when they tossed her body out the cage?
Oh yeah, that was
Oh,
in the
yeah.
hell mouth. Yeah, that's
So she drops till she falls into hell.
And survives.
What?
I'm being funny. She was already.
Did I fall asleep?
I don't know. This gets really fuzzy for me. So after she gets impregnated, Michael saves her.
No,
But
no,
then
no,
she
no.
gets back.
Oh,
put back
I'm
in
sorry.
there.
We're talking about Laura. I was talking about Brenda. No, she doesn't survive. Laura, yeah, actually.
Right.
So she gets
She gets
impregnated.
taken out.
What do you mean?
They take her back to a cell where she
Yeah, he comes and saves her, quote unquote. Then they
no,
take her.
after that. He saves her after that. They take her back to the I don't know, the cathedral where all the Satanists are hanging out.
Okay.
And they announce that she's impregnated, she's the chosen one, and then he saves her after she's already back in that little
Yeah,
glass cage.
yeah, by herself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's
there's a
when he
lot,
saves her,
yeah.
and-
Not the one in the hellmouth. There's a cage in the hellmouth, and then there's the one where she's being held as a pregnant woman after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Clarity.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Not really, but sure.
Not clarity from the movie, clarity in where we are talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Corey says production company also made the movie Last Night, which was one of the most god awful things I've ever seen. It is the worst thing I've ever saw Morgan Freeman in by far. Oh, it's Morgan Freeman, so
Last
The
night.
Last
thing he's
Night.
ever done, but it's the worst thing you've ever seen. I get it.
Damn.
So she's pregnant. What else is in? I mean, Michael doesn't do anything. She gets pregnant.
Michael is powerless until he's not powerless, and when he gets his power, he still don't do shit.
And
And
then,
he's
he gets
still
thrown,
powerless.
then he gets thrown into hell.
Yeah, he gets thrown into hell and trapped. And that's actually where I was. Is he goes to save her, ends up getting kidnapped and thrown into hell, and locked away, which is weird. But then he
With
breaks
Satan's sword.
with
The
Satan's
most
sword.
powerful angel.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's God? What's God doing?
Chilling, watching. Same thing was doing.
Man, watching TV.
He never sent Michael to stop Lucifer. I
Right.
guess he was like, hey,
Right.
whoever wins gets to be in charge for a minute. I'm chilling.
Right. He was unaware, maybe.
Right. Yeah. He
However that works.
wasn't paying attention at the time. Yeah. Sure.
Right.
Isn't that always how it works? You know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you just let him run around. But so after all of that, he goes, he saves her, but then he ends up getting in prison. Then Laura and Liz have their whole back and forth because Liz is mad and jealous, and Laura ends up having a discussion with Lucifer, who basically says, yeah, you could kill her. And she's like, that would make me very, very happy.
Yay.
Yay. But yeah, after that, you get to the fallen. You meet the people who are stuck in hell, who were offered to him but didn't take. And then, and only then, do we get this montage of her pregnancy and her kind of falling in love with the baby and being cool with Lucifer. And I don't.
Wait a minute. So just since we at this point, let me ask. So were those people in hell dead?
No. I mean, yes. Sorry. Why do I keep doing that? Yes.
Okay.
They rejected Satan.
No, Satan rejected them.
Oh, okay. So
And
they
they
weren't
know.
good enough for hell.
Well, no, he killed them when he went inside him and they didn't take. And then they just throw him out. So they die when they land in hell, but they didn't belong there.
So
Okay.
maybe Brenda did die down there?
Maybe. That's a good point. I'm guessing, yeah, that's plausible. Brenda, no. They all died, Mike. She just got stuck in hell.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Who
thought you said
knows?
she
Who
didn't
knows?
die.
Maybe I didn't say it right, but
Who cares about Brandon? Nobody cares about Brandon. Let's keep going.
Hey, Brenda's got a baby.
Brenda doesn't. The fire snake killed it.
Oh,
It
right. you're
killed
right.
everything
Oh,
in
got
her
a baby.
body. She's done.
My bad.
Yeah.
That was Tupac.
Yeah.
So
Let's just get to the most important part of
montage,
this movie.
The
she
credits?
finds them and she starts
No.
killing everybody. What's the important part? She drinks bleach.
Yes, when she decides to turn on the fetus and drink a gallon of bleach.
Yeah,
That
she
was
goes on the
dope.
killing rampage and then decides to go and drink bleach because she's over it and she ain't trying to do this no more. She don't like killing people. She ain't that kind of person. That's not who she is. And then
So what does
after
she
she
do?
goes on her tirade, all of a sudden he has enough power to control her entire body by himself.
Right. She has a Sam Raimi moment where she vomits all in her face.
Oh yeah.
Yay, vomit.
Yeah.
Why would drinking a gallon of bleach kill the baby before it kills you? Or you know what I mean? Like that's
I don't get it either. I figured there were worse things she could have done than that.
certainly, I guess that's true, but it just doesn't seem to me like that would be the thing you would choose to do first. Yeah, and it obviously didn't work because it just made the baby pissy and take over her
Well,
body.
apparently the baby loved her. It was Satan who didn't.
I was gonna say the same thing, and I was like, I don't think it was the baby that wasn't on her side in this.
Because remember, that's Jesus in there.
Right. Yeah.
The second
That's
coming.
right.
That's Jesus in there, and Satan somewhere in there too.
That is the gist of this entire movie. Now that we're at it,
It is technically
Mhm.
yes.
it was like
This was
So
the kid did not look. Kid did not look Middle Eastern
Yeah,
for sure.
not understanding how that
let's
came.
not get into that part.
Fair enough.
But yeah, and which that is where I guess you could kind of make it like, oh, I guess it does make a little bit of sense. Cause yeah, that was my question from the beginning. It's Jesus's shroud. How is it we're gonna birth Lucifer from it?
Let's not get into that either.
No, let's get
Yeah.
into that because that's the whole confuckery of the
Okay.
movie.
The way I'll put it like this. The way I interpreted that is based off of how it ends. Jesus is the only physical body that could contain a spirit like Satan, because he's more powerful than Michael the archangel, because he's the son of God. So his flesh would be able to contain and hold Lucifer's spirit.
Okay, that's fair. You've been watching a lot of Supernatural, but fair enough.
Nah, I just understand tomfoolery.
Shenanigans.
Right.
Shenanigans. But yeah, so
But
Michael
also I need to make a point. She
Mhm.
drank a gallon of bleach and then about 5 minutes later was crying because they took her baby away from her.
yeah.
I wasn't gonna go into that because,
Hey,
what
man,
will be the point?
you just gotta believe
I don't know.
it.
Character consistency. I don't know.
Any
'Cause
level.
plot.
Yeah.
It comes back to just because plot.
Right.
The only thing that's consistent is the use of the term angel.
Well, basically, this movie does this whole thing where it's like setting it up and like, oh, this is the grand conspiracy plan of this is the conspiracy of the devil, right? Is that this is what he's conspiring to do, and at the end they're like, but God's around, so psych, God's around, and he says no, so there you go.
Well, and you also had Lucifer already had them start doing the dirty work by having the demon that was there kill anybody after the birth, kill anybody who was alive and knew, which
Mhm.
I feel also should have included Liz, but hey, whatever.
Did you guys
Yeah.
realize that Mammon is in this?
Mammon.
Yep.
Which one is Mammon? The one with the swinging thing?
No,
Which one is
he never makes it out of hell. Remember the demon that was talking to Michael when they trapped him with Lucifer's sword? That's Mammon.
Oh, okay.
I
Mhm.
believe that's supposed to be Lucifer's son.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys realize that or not.
No,
Ask me how I realized it.
How'd you
Constantine.
No, subtitles.
Oh.
Oh,
Said
'cause
their
you
name.
saw it.
Said the name.
Fair enough.
The subtitles give you his name.
That was Constantine too.
Right. That's why I said it the way I said it.
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't.
Gotta
catch
love
it.
this movie.
I wouldn't have caught it.
It gets so much better every time as we talk about it. I just
No.
like it so much more.
There are things in this movie like that contribute to different parts of the lore and different things that we like and heard of that we're familiar with that would keep you like, oh, okay, where they going with that? But to what we said earlier, it's the consistency of all of those things that lack that make you kind of feel like they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, it seems to me that this wasn't created by anybody who intimately
Bible?
knew. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Read the Bible and understood it. Yeah.
They just heard some of the talking points like fallen angels,
Mhm.
demons, hell, because they even kind of
Lucifer.
get hell wrong.
They do. They totally get hell wrong. I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, yeah, he is chained to a rock, but it's in a frozen lake surrounded by fire. Like
They had fun. They just made it a volcano.
yeah, at the center of the earth or whatever.
Right. That had its own wind.
Yes.
Are we on Lord of the Rings?
Hollow Earth confirmed.
Right.
There you go.
Here we are.
I was just waiting to see if Godzilla was gonna walk by.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Jeez.
What else in this terrible movie? What else is there?
Maybe this was a comedy and we didn't realize it.
I told you
You said
they
that. You did say that.
tried. They tried.
As we talk about it, I'm starting to think maybe this was a comedy the whole time,
We don't speak Italian. We missed a lot of the jokes.
right?
That's true.
They should have put Jim Caviezel in it.
Who that?
The Passion?
Okay.
Never mind.
Sorry.
No.
How
No.
dare you?
I know
No.
what the Passion is. I don't know why that name would have.
He played Jesus.
Also got struck by lightning while playing Jesus.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
He just popped up again though, doing the prayer in Hebrew.
Sound like people.
Or no, not Hebrew. I think it's Aramaic. The language Jesus spoke.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
I just saw that on my timeline, or not timeline, but
It's okay. You can have a timeline, buddy. Nobody's judging you by it.
Is there anything else in this movie?
It doesn't have a timeline.
Yeah, at the baby's born, and then plot, and then he becomes
God sends the reverse Uno and says, "No, you."
Yeah. No, the baby's gonna take you over. You're not gonna take the baby over. Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
No, this baby will not be my undoing. Kill it. Kill it.
Oh man. And then he's a little boy with straight hair, dark straight hair,
Mm-hmm.
looking quite Italian.
Very Italian for some reason.
Just hair like lamb's wool.
And then he
Yeah.
starts smoking with cigarettes at the end, blowing smoke out his nose.
True, he
Blowing
did.
smoke out
He
his
did.
nose.
Yeah.
That's
And
funny.
and smiling at the camera creepily, like as if he's like, but did I contain the devil, or did the devil contain me?
Well, I mean, and on that point, it was like, well, we know from Revelations that the Antichrist is supposed to come anyway. That's part of God's plan. So maybe all of this was a Uno reverse.
Right.
And now you have to sit here and guess, is this Jesus, or is this the Antichrist, or is that Satan? Or is it all the same thing? Be confused.
There's a lot of reverses.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, no, overall, there's nothing left in this movie. The song selections were very descriptive. You had songs that really were just describing what the moment in the movie was. Things like Send Me an Angel or A Devil Inside Me. But outside of that, this movie didn't have a lot of elements to hold on to. So with that, we pretty much gave you everything we have. Pause. I'm not
Which
sure.
wasn't much.
No. Wow. That's out of pocket too. We definitely covered as much of this movie as possible. There's not really much more material to cover or anything else to discuss when it comes to that. What I would like is
Glad to know I'm not the only one getting gunshots.
right. Can I get some breaks out here?
No, I just have my neighbors are just like yelling right next to my window for some reason.
Oh, I hear the explosions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a celebration. Everybody's in on it. We watch a lot of TV over here, guys. Why else do you think we do this? We enjoy it.
Right.
With that being said, this movie is ready for some ratings, is ready for some true feelings and some moving on and moving forward. Because if there's ever a part 2 to this, somebody is losing their mind.
Well,
my favorite things about this movie were the ending, not the way it played out, just when it was over. I did actually like a lot of the costume design and the set work that was done. They put in some work on this. They put in some CG work on this. What they didn't do is put in no lighting work. Jeez.
None
Some
at
scenes
all.
were too overly lit or too well lit, and other scenes needed the lights that y'all used 2 days before that. That's about it. That's all I got on that. Rating. rating. It's getting a 2. I don't even. Is it worth? Yeah, it's getting a 2. Now I'll give it a 3. I give it a 3 because I actually do like the effects, like the whole fire snake coming out and going through her hands. I was like, okay, that's clever, but it didn't play into the storyline the way that I guess they thought it did. Like this whole mysterious, alluring moment. None of that. But I say a 2,
Yeah,
3, 2.
3. Well, you waffle kind of back and forth, so 2.5.
Fine, 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. It.
Okay, fair enough. I gave it a 2, and I only gave it a 2 because it has better special effects than The Flash.
Yeah. Special effects aren't terrible. The story is bad, but
Yeah,
special effects are decent. The lighting is awful. Most of it's bad, but yeah, I guess it's a 2. It's not as bad as Legion Project, which we gave a 0, but it's not that much
Right about
better.
that really quick.
It's not
it
that much
really ain't
better.
that much better.
No, it's
Oh
really
no,
not.
no, it's not much better at all.
No.
I don't. Soon we have to just go through what we've done in 2023 so far, because
We still got a few months.
Yeah, we can definitely do a wrap up at some point.
they don't have a few months because this shit sucks.
Well, it's not going to get any better either. The writer's strike
Right.
is still
I
going
was just
on.
about to say that. Get your shit together, Hollywood. Get your writers back. You
Stay
in a
away from
minute, you
kids.
wanna enjoy being with their family too much to come back to work.
Sorry.
Mm.
No, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, don't ask him.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna repeat
We're
it.
gonna let that pass. We're gonna let that pass.
so this
Oh man.
2.5 gives us a 6 out of 30. Believe it or not, guys, that's better than a lot of other things, but on average, it gives us a 2. Let's just
Mhm.
Right.
2 it is.
2 or 2-1. But yeah,
I mean, I could go down in the rating if you want. I mean,
can't we all?
it didn't really have it didn't really have anything redeeming about it.
Look, like I'm saying, I'm like, can't we all go down in rating? Like, there's nothing to add. There's definitely a lot to subtract.
Because you could still say the acting was pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
The only character I actually like was the actual Archangel. The guy. That's it.
Peter Mensa.
Yeah. That's it. Not Father Macaroni.
No, I know what you mean. And probably because he was a familiar face.
Yep.
What type of bootleg Shazam is this?
Hey, Black Adam?
We got Billy Batson over here.
Right. Which wasn't a terrible movie. That actually had one funny scene in it. Just
Which
one.
Shazam or Black Adam?
Shazam had one funny scene in it.
The first one or the second one?
The second one.
I'm ashamed of you.
Well, when you guys are ready, we can review that one because it's on Max if you want.
Oh, that's why you've seen it. Okay, I get it.
No, I seen it when it first came out. I didn't pay for it though.
Whatever. You were running around. We were walking outside after you came out of there talking about Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
Shazam.
Oh yeah, you know it because I wanted to have magic powers too from a bunch of weak sources.
Weak sources.
Man.
All right. With that being the case, this movie doesn't get too much of a rating, but we did round it out, give you what we thought about it. We want to thank Corey for hanging out. Man, Corey, we really appreciate you.
You're a real one.
You are definitely a day one if they ever needed to know. But thanks everybody for tuning in, hanging out, checking out the review on the movie entitled Devil's Conspiracy. Do not go watch this. Just listen to what we're talking about. It's not really worth your time. But hey, if you do go and watch it, just know we told you so. We told you so.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe you enjoy it better than we did. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe there's some elements to it that we missed, some things that we just quite didn't understand and you did. Go ahead and drop that in the comments. Let us know how you felt about this here review and about the film that it is about. After you do that, go ahead, take a look at your screen. We got a lot of things that you can go ahead and check out. Podcasts all through your week. Typically, Monday is your day off, but this week we gave you a little something different. We're going to be off tomorrow as well for that good old holiday. Give you some razzmatazz and jazz and all of that good stuff right here on the Screen Time Continuum. But on Wednesday, we will be back for you. Again, take a look at your screen and you'll get all of our other shows that range from Tuesdays all the way around to Sundays. And check out your Twitch, check out your Spotify, check out all your local socials, apps, and clear out your memory. Don't give us that, oh, I can't download. Clear your memory. We have to do it sometimes too. We get it. It's nothing personal. For the Screen Time Continuum, my name is Keelan.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Mike.
Appreciate it, guys. We really do.
Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, share, comment, share, comment. It's
Crack a
not
joke.
Definitely crack a joke.
Potato.